Now you say the Most High gave His word to everybody, right?
That bondage you living out right now. That bondage is why you at the bus stop right now.
You understand? The scripture says, any man speak, let him speak of the oracles of God. They think the law is a small thing. Separate, man. We are separate from these other nations, man. That's right.
And I can't let no hoe lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jake. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him, this shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I'm back gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yohanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through it. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
you see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Shalom Yahawah Israel, Foster Qatar with I.S.U.P.K. Of course, we're starting out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of GEN.YAHANNA, who's the head of our school. He is the leader of the body of Israel until Christ comes back, of course. Christ is our king, and of course, Yahawah, which is his father, is our most high power. Alright, so this is the Friday night LaShawan Qadash class. Of course, it looks like we was working on the beginnings, the 5 books of the Bible, the Torah, breaking them down, seeing them in the Paleo and the Assyrian. So we're going to pick up where we left off there. Before we jump into that, we're just going to go ahead and get those alphabets on the board. Of course, say it out loud, write it out loud, get that good rote memory in, so we can be just as fluid in the alphabet of our language and our culture as the alphabets in the oppressor's culture that we have already learned. So, started from the top, I try to do as neat as possible. You got a better quiet than that. Got your I, your ba, your ga. Write the name on the ga a little better. Da. Ha. Wow. And of course, some of these letters are going to look like familiar either shapes, objects, actual letter characters. See, the za is very similar to the English Z. Gotcha. Ha and your ta. Remember, this particular character is what you might want to use as a soft ka and not the hard ka, which is coming up. You'll see the difference in the pronunciation. Of course, that's your ya. This right here is your hard ka. Sorry about that, Israel. It's a lot. You got your la. Ma. Na. So I didn't do my spacing too good at all. I want to get these across the top, so I'm going to start back at the line, try to squeeze these last few in. Now I'm going to start from this end. Ba, sha, got your rock. The only reason I'm doing it from right to left on this side is just because I'm trying to get the spacing right, that's all. Alright, that's a little better. Alright. So next, underneath, we're going to write the enunciation of them, and then under that, we'll put the symbol. Of course, you got your I, and if you can, try to do this without looking at your sheet. See if you go through a name, sound them out without it. You got your ba, your ga, your da, your ha, your wa, your za, your ka, your ta, your ka, your ta, your ya, your hard ka, a la, your ma, your na, sa, I, the Pa. Of course, you got your TITHES, Qua, Ra, Sha, and Fa. Alright, now for the front part, let's get this Assyrian down so you can get it down nice and neat. You got your I. Like I said, kind of looks like the inches of X. Then your Ba. Your Ga. Da. Yaha. Your Wa. Your Ta. Your soft Ka. I gotta find a different way to say that. The Ta. The Ra. Yo, the Ya. You got your Ka. Your La. Your Ma. Your Na. Your Sa. Your I. Your Pa. Now remember your I, which is this one, and your TITHES is very similar. This one has the base that goes back, it connects, the two connect, and the base goes back and it comes forward. And the I, when the two connect, it goes to the left and it doesn't go back at all. That's one way I try to differentiate the two. But at a glance, they both will kind of be similar to a Y. Okay, you got your Qua, which kind of reminds me of a P. Got your Ra. And like we covered before, you got characters like the Da, the other form of the Ka, which is very similar to the Ra, which is the same situation you'll run in with the I and the TITHES. You know, you got similar looking characters. You just got to make sure we call out the right one. You got your Sha. And then you got your Fa. Right. So the first one we did was, I believe, the book of Genesis. So I'll probably put that one last, just blow through that one as a quick refresher. But as of now, it's a lot. So you have the English word of Leviticus, and when you translate it into Paleo, you will see it to be Wayah-Kwara'ah. Wayah-Kwara'ah. And it's very good to sound them out. So you have Wayah-Kwara'ah. These are all separated. So you see it in the Paleo, and which it means, and he called. That's what the word Wayah-Kwara'ah. And you see, based off of the prefixes and your suffixes, the Y and the Ya. You see the Y, which is before the actual root word, prefix Y and Ya. So like it. Wayah-Kwara'ah in the Ya, which is the he, and then you have the call. The Assyrian, that's what you have. That's what it looks like in the Assyrian. And the translation is pretty much literal, and he called. So you see the prefix, Y-Ya, and he, Kwara'ah, called, and he called. Just that simple. So then going into the next book, which we have the book of Exodus. Which is Shamar, and that is name. So the word Shamar means name in Exodus, but when you break it down, and then you have, of course, you have the Shah and your Ma connected, your Wa and your Tha connected, so you have Shamar. So Sham is the actual word name. Wa is how you almost make it plural. You know what I mean? If you would take that understanding, or if I can articulate it that way. Then you have it in the Assyrian. Of course, you just match up your characters, your corresponding characters. And then the translation of it means names. Remember, name, plural, names. And it breaks down into desolation and wilderness. You look up the word H8054, and that's how you get the understanding of that. And like I said last week, what's heavy about this book and everything in it, from the title, the names of the book, those names go into pretty much what transpired in the book as well. So, we're deeply rooted in this. All right, I'm gonna give you a second to get that down. And of course, if you have any questions, go ahead, go in the chat. Go check the chat for a sec. Any no questions in the chat? next book we have is Numbers, the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers. And it wrote down in Paleo, you'll have it as Ba, Ma, Da, Ba, Ra. Connect those last two characters for bar. So you have Bamada, Bar. Bamada, Bama, the bar. Bama, the bar. That's how you pronounce it out. Ba, Ma, the bar. So when we give it the understanding, you have your ba, and you look over here in your prefix, which I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna go over those. After we go over these, put those back up on the board nice and neat. You got your ba, which is in or on, so, and your madabar, which means desert or wilderness. Of course, putting it in the Assyrian, go here, Ba, Ma, Da, Ba, and Ra, Madabar. I should have spaced those two out a little bit better. And then the translation is in desert or so when you think about it, what was going on, so you had the Exodus, and then you had the Leviticus, those chosen or nation, we were called out, if you want to put it that way, of Exodus. And before we went into the promised land, we were in the wilderness for a period of time. We were in the desert. now you have Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. And to be honest, I've been looking up the spelling on that one. I've been getting it wrong sometimes. Don't fault me, Israel. Deuteronomy. Well, I guess I can spell it out from now on. I guess it was the D-E-U. And I've been thinking do, like past bill do. So, alright, it's not that bad. So Deuteronomy, which is Waya Quabra'a. Slightly. The barium. So you have your da, ba, ra, ya, ma. And you'll see that that's pronounced out as the bar. Yum. And and the bar means word. And of course, the yam gives it that plural sense, the plurality of it. So you have your da, ba, ra, ya, and then ma. And that simply breaks down into words. We were given the words, those laws, statutes, and commandments. We were given those statutes, especially when you look at Deuteronomy 28. We were given those clauses and the situation about around those clauses. We agreed to those clauses too. That's one of the things that we do have to remember as Israel. This wasn't anything that was forced upon us. We seen the Most High Power do His work, and He gave us an option. do you want to serve me? And we said we will. And in that stipulation, we were supposed to serve him, in all his ways, follow all his commandments, not some as the Christian church continually tries to push and tries to teach. We have to be mindful. Just think about it. You go through this whole journey. You go through your whole life, and you're 30, 39, doing what you want to do, thinking that the stuff that you're continually doing, Christ died for. Make that make sense, because when you look in the contrast of it, Christ died for our sins. We would admit that. Even Christians would admit that. And an honest Christian would admit that a sin is a transgression of the law. So why would he die for something that you are now allowed to continue to do? Wouldn't that make his death pointless? And that reminds me of that verse in Hebrew where it says there remains no more sacrifice for sins after he sinned willingly. Like that's dumb. The Most High sent his most precious possession, his son, to be the propitiation for our sins, for what we did wrong. So to afford us another opportunity to get it right, to come back to the Most High Father. And you're gonna just, after you get afforded grace out of that judgment, you're gonna continue to do what you did, thinking that he died for you to continue to do what you did. Like he died for you to continue being a homosexual or part of the alternative identity or LGBTQ community. He continued for you to be a thief, a liar, a whoremonger, a whore. He didn't die for you to continue to be those things. He died for you to come up out of that low state, that dust. He died to give you that second sight, that opportunity to come back to your power. He was that bridge. He was that mediator between the New Testament and the Old Testament, as the book of Hebrews would say. Okay, and of course, real quick, the only one we went over the first two. These were the last two. And then we have the book of Genesis, which we did last week. That I'm going to just cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it on top of here. We'll just have it real quick. Genesis. Just so you will have it all together. You got Genesis, and it's barak, sheep, barak, ash. Barak, which means head or top. Head or top. And then putting it in the Syrian real quick. Got your barak, the ra, the you have your shot. Yeah. Stop. It's kind of close, so I get. And this In the beginning. So I'm gonna give you a minute to get those down. Like I said, for the rest of the class, we're gonna go over a few more vocabulary words, rewrite your prefixes and your suffixes, nice and neat. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we're gonna go into for next class. Rewrite these two. Prefix. Sha'ah. Writing them down. Concentrating a little bit too much, trying to get it neat. But your high is your bug. Why? And yeah. See. And light. Ma is of or from. Sha is your womb or your witch or pertaining to, you know. And the five is your D. Or you. So there you have your prefixes, your I, your ba, your da, your ha, your wa, your ya, your ka, your ma, your sha, your tha. So what do you have next? You have your suffixes. Ya, ma, ka, you and yours. Why is he his or it? Ha, it's hers. You know why? It's ours. Come is the understanding of y'all. Masculine plural. Masculine plural. Con is the same thing, but it's the feminine plural. Y'all. And then you have ma and na. All right, go ahead and get those down. Get those down. All right, let's get some vocabulary on the board. And then next week, we're going to start trying to put some phrases together with these words, like the baby needs some milk. The baby needs some milk. Something like that. Right? We're going to get 5 words, L words. Gotta get language or tongue. And then the lie for the lie down. Old press. Order. Own. And owner. Let's get one more pain. Those are vocabulary words. We're going to go ahead and get them in the Hebrew. So language, guess what that one is? Have it for the La, Shawan, which of course La, Sha, gotcha. La, Sha separate, the one connected, the LaShawan. La, barak, ba, wa, right. And of course, in the Hebrew, Syrian, you got your thigh, your wa, your ra, and your ha. And then you have your lie or false, which is kazab. Which is your hard ka, your za, your ba, connected. So lie and recline is shaka. Give you a second, see if we can get that one on the board. Right, you got your shot. You got your top. You got your bottom. Next word was oppress. Oppress. It's Nagash. Gosh, which is simply God. And last, order, which is I, right? Simply I, with right, and God connected. Own is Shayak. What you have is your Shah. The Yah. The Ka. Omer is Baal. And the last but not least, pain is Ka'ab. Damn, I'm gonna name my son that. Atad and Ka'ab. Put a one in the chat, Israel. If I have a son, most I willing. That's the name of Ka'ab. I don't see no ones in the chat. Alright, go ahead, give you a minute to go ahead and get those down. Remember, Israel, these are one of the things that we got to continually do. We got to continually work on our language. I always thought that, you know, it was impressive to see other nations be living amongst us and holding conversations that most Americans or people in this Western society is unprivileged to or not privileged to. And that should be something that's normal. We're a people that's not of this country or a country name. We're not American. We are not descendants of the same Europeans who colonized this landmass. Of course, we know that the indigenous people, which is the Northern Kingdom, the 10 Northern Kingdom tribes, were over here first. Because when we read in the book of Apocrypha, it says they went to a land that mankind never dwelt at. And that was this side of the earth. But like I said again, Israel, keep studying your language, keep studying your culture. This is very important that we get this down. The prayers that we go over in Hebrew, just have more weight on it. You know what I mean? When you say it in the actual tongue that it's supposed to be said in. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and close out the class so I can get ready to go to this oppressive slave. Mr. Israel, Elijah, Elijah Shabbat, Elijah Barak, Yahawah Shamar, courtesy to the sisters. Sa, Yahawah Shamar, Bahasham Yahawashi to all the sisters. Lord Christ.